The Human Founder Podcast by Gali Bloch-Liran.
Hi, I'm Gali Bloch-Liran and welcome to The Human Founder, the podcast where we speak about the mental aspects of the entrepreneurial journey. Entrepreneurs often describe the emotional roller coaster that is embedded in being an entrepreneur investor, where you experience the lowest of lows when your wife was diagnosed with brain tumor that changed your lives in one day, and the highest of highs when you take your organization from zero budget to win 2 innovation authority tenders for 18 million shekels. And it's from that place of uncertainty, the need to constantly self-manage ourselves, keep up our energy and be mentally resilient in order to deal with everything. Well, it's not easy, right?
Right?
In each episode, I will be talking to entrepreneurs, investors, psychologists, being their sounding board with the goal of creating a space for this less spoken about layer, which is the mental aspect accompanying the entrepreneurial journey. I will also share tips and tricks to help boost your focus, clarity, and mental resilience. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Rabea Zioud. Hey, Rabea, and thank you so much for coming here today.
Hey, Gali, thank you for having me.
And I'm really, really excited to hear everything that you have to share with us. So I'll introduce you. You are the co-founder and CEO of Hasub. Did I pronounce it correctly?
Yes.
Wonderful. One shot, one kill. You're also an entrepreneurship lecturer at the UNO Academic College, and you're an advisor for many startups. You're married to Nihal, and you're very, when we talk about leadership, so you're definitely a role model. To be a leader in your doing. So I gave this compliment. You didn't give it to yourself.
Thank you.
And I'll be happy to start and dive deeper into your story. So take me a little bit to your childhood. Where did you grow up? And let's take it from there.
Okay, so I'm an elder brother of 5 siblings, and I grew up in Shafamer, which is in the Galilee area. Two amazing parents, my dad Mustafa and my mother Suraya. They both didn't have the chance to finish their school. Like they quit very early, but they believed in that they should invest in us, and like so we can complete our school and go to academia and fulfill our potential. So this is where I grew up with all the support of my family. From there, I did my high school in Haifa in the Arab Orthodox College. It's called college, it's school, but this is how they call it. Amazing school. And from there, finishing high school. At this time, also I had I mentioned that we are 5 siblings.
Yeah.
So my youngest siblings, Amal and Ahmad, were born with cerebral palsy. So when Amal was born, I was still very, very young. I was 7 years old. So I couldn't realize much of how this is changing our lives. But when Ahmad was born, he's the youngest, I was already in 10th grade, and I understood that having 2 siblings that are totally depending on us as their family is a huge responsibility. We should take care of them all their lives, and this changed a lot on the way I think, I see things, and I prioritize things. So from there, I had to decide what to go to learn.
Wait.
Yeah,
You're moving too fast. Wait.
Yeah.
So how old were you when you were 7 when Amal was born and
Yes,
Ahmad, you were 10?
16.
And 16.
Yeah,
And as a child, as grown up later, how do you cope with the having those challenges within your family? You are as one of the oldest brothers, and you need to support the parents, and you need actually to reorganize the way you behave as a family, the way you live your life, your priorities. How do you manage it?
Yeah, definitely. Like I remember this conversation with my dad, like about to finish high school, and all my friends were okay. We are going to study medicine abroad or things like that. And I remember my father say, Rabea, look, we we used to live in Shafamar, and in Shafamar we used to live in second floor without an elevator.
Mhm.
And my brother and sister were getting bigger, so it was very heavy to lift them to the second floor. So he said, our priority now is to go and build an accessible house.
Mhm.
So y- so it's just for you to know that financing your academic studies now, I don't want to say it's not a priority, but make your efforts to study here and work while you study, and like help with that. So that was one of my priorities. One like I knew that I have to do that. So and then also what to study. So I always had like this kind of, I want to do things, I want to do big things, and to do like things that affect people in the macro level. But maybe I didn't know this about myself. But and then I wanted also to do something medical related. Like I saw my brother and sister, and I wanted to do something. So I did I did study for the psychometric exam. I did it, and then I decided that I'm going to study physical therapy. I also was a football player before, so
Oh, also a football player
before like not
for many years.
not a successful one, not a successful one.
But a football player.
Yes, yes. So I went to study physical therapy, and that led me to come here to Tel Aviv University. And in the same year that I started this, like when I came to do my BA in physical therapy, I also started my first entrepreneurial adventure, let's call it.
Uh-huh.
So with one of my friends, we started an academic center for pupils, for like kids in elementary school, to help them to cope with their friends. It was mainly for pupils that are coming from a tough background, where their families cannot help them, where their families are uneducated, so they cannot help them with homeworks and stuff. So we created this platform.
In the Arab society.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
It wasn't Shafamer.
Mhm.
We call it Mustaqbalna, our future. And I remember, like, we were kids, like we're 20 years old, knowing nothing about business and how to start things. And like we started to go and do all the operation. And I remember like how we grow it out. We had 40, 50 kids coming to the center. We start to grow it like to more tutors that coming and teaching. And when I went to Tel Aviv University, I got the scholarship, and in the second year I had to go and volunteer. So I was scrolling the list of the places, and then I came up to I saw Starta, which is the innovation center and entrepreneurship center of the university, and I said, okay, amazing. It said the Yazamut, and I wasn't aware of the word entrepreneurship back then. So it say Yazamut, okay, Yazamut, I'm doing Yazamut, so I'm gonna do it there. And I remember going there and meeting with Oren Semanian, amazing friend. And he said, Rabea, you're gonna get out from here with something. So I remember I had to do like 60 hours during that year. I ended up doing more than 300 hours of volunteering. But yeah, it was a life-changing experience going there, understanding how this ecosystem works and what is happening around us, that that the high tech and the entrepreneurship ecosystem is one of the most important economic engines in the country. And what was for me there, that every time I went to a meetup or something, I was the only Arab in the room. And this all the time was the feeling that, okay, if I am who went to one of the best high schools, and I was exposed, and I know that all my friends in high school were like the uh, top students, and we didn't know about. No one told us, okay, high tech is, go there, entrepreneurship. We didn't have this awareness. So I saw it as a responsibility to take it forward and really to bring more and more of the people of who are super talented to be part of this ecosystem. So from there, I participated in a fellowship in the US called Economic Empowerment Through Entrepreneurship. It was in Michigan and DC. And there, while being there, it was with people from all the MENA region. And one of the people that was with me there is Danny Weisberg. He's the co-founder, the founder and CEO of VoiceIt. And coming back, VoiceIt was in the early, very, very early days. Coming back, Danny offered me like Rabea. So VoiceIt, for those who don't know, like it's a company that was the first company that translates unclear voice to a voice that everyone can understand. So it's mainly for people who cannot speak clearly, and so with the help of technology and AI and many things, someone with speaking difficulties can speak to the iPad or to the phone, and then it will be translated to a clear voice. So this was revolutionary.
Revolutionary.
Yeah, exactly.
That was
Exactly.
revolutionary.
Exactly. Revolutionary. So and here Danny offered me to come and join him, like to lead the biz dev for the Arab world and like to be part of the company. Also because of my brother and sister, and I was a student back then. Like I was a student in my third year, and I said, okay, why not? I really think you are doing something amazing, and I would love to learn. I would love to be part of this thing. I remember joining Danny and VoiceIt, and very shortly we started to work on. We had a very, very small, tiny office in Ramat Gan, and I remember going there also after school. And so I remember we started to work on crowdfunding campaign and applied like for a mass challenge in Boston. So shortly after, we got accepted to Mass Challenge Boston, and from there, I traveled with them. I traveled with VoiceIt to Boston, and we started to work on a lot of things there, like related to the startup. And the highlight was when, by the end, by the end of the acceleration program, we got accepted to pitch the company in 2 days in two competitions in the same day. So
Wow.
Danny went to a competition for Verizon, and he told me, Rabia, okay, you are going to the one with the Wall Street Journal in LA. So so I went there, and it was like a conference with all like the leaders of the tech industry in the world, like Jack Ma, Tim Cook, Steve Ballmer, all of them were there. And I remember like we were five startups, five selected startups from all around the world that need to pitch in this startup contest. And it was like, okay, my English wasn't like that, okay? You just can't tell. I think it was the first time I'm speaking English on stage, and we won first place.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was, and Yossi Vardi was there as one of the judges. He said like, he said that he's supporting it, and he like, okay, where are you studying? I'm studying here in the some university in the state. No, I'm studying just near in your neighborhood in Tel Aviv. Yeah, so this was like a moment also that changed my life and said, okay, if I was able to come here with VoiceIt, I think more and more people from my community should be exposed to these opportunities, should be exposed to these kind of things, and really have the chance to go global, to build things, and to really change people's lives. So coming back from this experience, and
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. Pause. Let's pause. Let's pause, because I'm listening to you, and first of all, I'm so inspired by so many things that you share, and you walk like on the timeline, like so fast, so quick, like that happened and that happened, and it's like, if I may reflect, like it sounds like you take it with very, first of all, very humble about everything that you're doing, and it's like these are many wins, and you take it like I'm on the ground, and something very strong from the inside that you speak in 5 minutes. You went from having two small brothers with CP. You are funding your school because of changes of priorities within your family, to all of a sudden going to Tel Aviv University, entering into some entrepreneurship program. Who knows back then that this word is entrepreneurship, right?
Yeah.
Someone is seeing you, Oren, and maybe everyone has this one person who sees him, in the first time and tell him, listen, I believe in you. Something will come out of here. You're investing so many hours, so much dedication to what you're doing. And from there, like so quick, one opportunity leads to another opportunity, and you're just like open to everything that this world has to offer. You take it, you take
You
it.
absorb. You
Yeah,
absorb.
you absorb it exactly, and you're flourishing with it. And I want to ask you, what is it, this resilience that you're describing now, this strong belief in yourself that sounds from everything, the echoes from everything that you say. What do you think contributes to it? Are you aware to the fact that you have it within you, and this is one of your super powers? The same thing that takes you, later on to this stage in Wall Street Journal in Los Angeles, that you don't speak English in a perfect way, and you stand on the stage and you showcase what you have to do with a startup, and you win the first prize. These are all amazing milestones.
Yeah. So one of the things I also knew it later on about myself is grit. I really believe in this, and also I really believe that we are here in this world like for a certain time, and we need to leave an impact. And time is so expensive, so we need to use it wisely and really do things. So I remember being a student, and in the beginning, I told you like I volunteered maybe 300 hours instead of 60. I remember in the beginning, my friends telling me, Rabea, what are you doing? You're volunteering too much. Like all this kind of time that you are not spending with quality time with your friends and things. I and then when and that's the hustle, that's the hard work that no one sees. And then when I got accepted to this fellowship in Michigan, many people that so I was a student back then. Okay, I was a student second year. It's like student's life. You do like the minimum, and everyone suddenly wanted to volunteer because they saw the fruits that you can get out of this thing. So and here the whole thing. I know also about myself today that I'm a marathon runner. It's not a 100 meters run. These things takes time. You have to believe in it. You have to enjoy the ride. And by the end of the day, when I could see my impact in everything that I did, I tried to see the small impacts that I did on the way, and this gave me a lot of fuel to continue. So you always seek these signs that give you the power and give you the energy to keep going forward, because it's a marathon. It's a very, very, very long one. You need to this bottle of water in the road.
And also, I really like the metaphors that you used, and also like sometimes we have voices in our surroundings that they say, for example, just like you said, oh, you spend too many hours in volunteering. What is it into you? What is it for you? What do you get from it? And first of all, fulfillment and the feeling that we're doing good is an amazing thing. This is the fuel to continue in this marathon. And second, you never know. One never knows what kind of opportunity will come from each interaction. And the more we're open to everything that life has to offer, and the more we take, we try, we touch, we explore things, then one thing leads to another. And so many opportunities can rise from it. And the volunteering that you did there, you get to know this donor, for example. And the volunteering that you did here oh, it's one of the founders of this and these startups, and then you start to collaborate with them.
Definitely,
So there are so
definitely.
many these network effects can happen from in so many levels, and I think that this is like the beauty of connections and relationships, that they are based on really good heart, open heart, wanting to contribute an impact, but together with this, many other opportunities, either business wise or non business, can occur. And this is the beauty, some of the beauty.
Yeah, definitely. I'm telling you, like, one of the things I'm realizing also today, the power of this network, like that you have built. I have built it in the last decade now, and you are seeing this kind of the people you are meeting, the and how you sometimes you do good, and this good comes back to you a million times later on, and so yeah, this amazing. And the whole thing with opportunity, I have a lecture that I give, and I really believe in it. I believe that this very small block that I put it in the building block, that the business I founded when I was 20, this what led to do like the volunteering in the entrepreneurship center, and this what led to this fellowship in the States, and that's where I met Danny. So without having this a
Uh-huh.
very
Uh-huh.
a small building block in the beginning with this, I'm sure that when I founded this business, I wasn't sure that I wasn't aware that I'm going to be doing these kind of things 2 years after. So
Now, what you said now is so true, but it's very tricky. Why? Because what happens is, as people, especially when we're younger, is that not necessarily in each point of time we can see the bigger picture. Usually, we cannot see the bigger picture, even when, especially when we're young, when our horizons are not widen enough. Okay, and we just think on the next step. So sometimes we may say to ourselves, "Wait, but where will it lead me if I'll choose this path or take this road, where it will lead me," right? And I don't know, but something strong in me tells me, Gali, go do it. Rabea, go do it. You feel something there. And this is the tricky part of it, that we don't want to miss those opportunities because of these voices in the head. And the beautiful thing is that I think only a little bit later down the road, when you're a bit more mature and you have few experiences in your bag of life on your back, you get to see how all the dots are connected. And just like you described, how one thing led to another. Now, it doesn't mean that if one of these occasions or these building blocks weren't there, things wouldn't be great
yes,
also.
yeah,
But it may be led to another direction, right?
yeah,
To another path, which can also be a wonderful one. But the
definitely.
beautiful thing, I think, for us as individuals and as entrepreneurs, is the ability to rise up a little bit above the situation and to see how everything is connected and how one thing led to another, and how one thing that I took from my childhood, or the fact that I had my first business when I was 4 years old. I was selling figs from the tree in my house, and later on I did birthdays, and I was a tutor. I gave so many private lessons, and I had so many business until what I did today, when I was a child. And to see those characteristics that you have within you then, and the experiences that you got with you along the way, and how you evolved in them, I think that's the beauty. And also from your hobbies. I mean, you said you were a football player. I used to be a dancer all my life. I'm still dancing. So to see how all those muscles built your character, and help you win the various experiences that you have, whether it is the outcome that you wished to have, and sometimes it's not the outcome that you
Yeah,
wish to have. It's a failure. It's not a good outcome, but you bounce back and you rise up from this and you learn and you go to the next stage. And this is one of the most beautiful things, to see how everything is connected.
definitely connecting the dots back, looking backward.
Definitely, definitely. And every time we find out something new, another, coordinate, another thought, another small thing that took us. You mentioned the grit, impact, and time is expensive, and I really think these are three really great takeaways, like to remind ourselves every day why we're here, what's important for us, how do we want it to behave, because grit is actually the commitment to continue, the perseverance, the hard work together with the talent. It's not enough to have talent. You need to work hard and to be committed to this success or to the direction that you want to go and work on it all the time. So grit together with wanting to bring impact, or I like to call it even a bit a smaller word, but it's the same meaning. Like just always give value. In every conversation that you have with someone, just one thing that he or she will take from this conversation, this small value that you helped him in his way, in his journey. And I liked it that you also said time is expensive, because we want also to be very pragmatic, very practical with everything. And yet, time is short, time is expensive. We have to prioritize and all the time to ask ourselves, what moves the needle? How can I make more impact? How can I contribute in the right direction? And navigating between those questions really takes you to good places.
Yeah, yeah. I totally agree with you, and I totally agree that sometimes even like with the impact and giving value, like I tend to think, and I know it's maybe a downside or something, that everything that I know, everyone should know. Like if I know it, I'm sure that everyone know it. And then like entrepreneurs call me, and very fresh entrepreneurs that want to start their thing, and they call me and they, Rabea, I want to talk to you, and they go and have this conversation with them. And I really just gave them what I know. And they said, wow, Rabea, it was very valuable, like amazing. Like you helped me with so much. Really? Okay, great. And then you leave this conversation with so much satisfaction that, okay, with what I have learned and giving this knowledge and giving this experience back is amazing. And so happy that this helping more and more people. And the whole thing with moving the needle is what happened then also with our work at Hasub. We didn't have the chance yet to talk about it, but
we'll get there.
Yeah, yeah.
For
So,
sure.
so I think what we are doing right now, there is something that had a lot of grit in it, and we are kind of now. This year was amazing.
So tell us a little bit about Hasub. By the way, what you told me about two founders traveling to the US with $5,000. It's this.
Yes.
So let's start with this story.
Okay. No, okay. I would start a little bit before, but and
Okay.
then we'll get there.
Okay.
So Hasub is I mentioned that I started to volunteer with the Entrepreneurship Center in the university, and I did some events and conferences. One of them here in Google for Startups, and then had this experience in the US, and coming back, I knew that I could see how big is the gaps between where I come from and what's happening around us. Sometimes it's half an hour drive from where we live and into Tel Aviv and like these places, but we are a years away from the ecosystem. So I said, okay, we must be part of this ecosystem, and really fulfill our potential in tech and entrepreneurship. And what happened that when I came back, I wanted to bring back the work I started in the university. I started meeting people, and one of the people was Hassan Abu Shali. He's my friend, and Hassan, we became friends later. And Hassan told me, Rabea, I'm just starting to do something similar in my basement. We are gathering every week, and some guys, and I said, okay, amazing. This is the whole thing of community. I started to do it here in Tel Aviv University. Let's just
Join forces.
Yeah, join forces. And this what happened. We started meeting every week in Hassan's basement in Arara, and this was 2014. And every week the community got bigger. Every week, like just more people joined. Every week. And I remember this 2014 was a crazy year because later on we had to change. Like there was no plan. It was so grassroots, like from ground up. People coming, designing the event a night before. Okay, what we are doing? What we are doing tomorrow? Let's do this and that. Giving
Entrepreneurship, no?
Yeah. And
All the
then,
stories.
exactly. And then 2015, the community just got bigger that we cannot. Hassan, where we used to gather at Hassan's basement, it wasn't enough anymore. So we started to do a lot of events in many other cities, in Nazareth, in Fahim, in Technion, in other places. And each time that we went, it was a full house.
And what was the main topic or the main
so it was
thing that you addressed?
exactly. So it was all about entrepreneurship and innovation and the technology. So it was a lot of
raising awareness, giving skills, and how as a community we can like learn together. So some of these meetings in the basement, we have some tables. So this table people used to do like learn how to develop an iOS, another table on Android, another table like just did design. Each time we hosted an entrepreneur and we just all listened to him and what about his experience. So it was so, I don't want to say random, but yeah, so flexible. People could do all of this at their place, but they wanted to come to be part of a community
And to be together.
exactly, and to learn from each other and to have these small fireside chats and like to talk and to get to know each other. So this is how everything started, and then second year, as I mentioned, we start to go bigger and to have like again, it was from raising awareness to hackathons to tech festivals. The activities were so diverse, but all around tech and entrepreneurship. And in this year, we also founded a nonprofit called a nonprofit organization. We called it Hasoub, and we kept doing all these kind of activities a year after year until the end of 2017. Like, just and here also the whole thing with grit. For 4 years, we all volunteered. No one.
That was exactly my question. Like, I wanted to ask, why did you open an NGO?
Yeah, because
But we'll get it.
yeah. So
Okay.
we opened an NGO also because also one is the whole thing of we weren't that mature, like to know what to do, but also because it wasn't like that we today I had the idea, I want to work on it alone, and then it was the whole thing of the community. Everyone felt part of it. So you cannot go tell them, okay, guys, I'm doing this business for me, and you are. So it was the nonprofit of the community itself, and until this day, Hasoub, the main thing that really make Hasoub so unique is our community, and many people feel that they are part of it.
Like co-contributors.
Exactly. Like all our work is defined by our volunteers who come, who contribute, who feel part of this thing.
And for you and Hassan, was it like a full-time job? That
No,
was your
it's
main thing?
no. It's so in the beginning, we were like working and doing this, but all the time it required more and more time and effort, more time and effort.
It grew.
And that's led us to the point. I remember by the end of 2017, we said, okay, it cannot continue like this. It's either that we keep it small, do like an event every quarter, very nice, small, and we keep volunteer, or we really someone take the lead, dedicate his time, and really take it forward to because we felt a lot of responsibility to our community, because everyone wanted us to do an event in his city, and students came and engineers, and everyone wanted us to be there. So we felt a lot of responsibility.
And I just want to emphasize how it doesn't matter whether it is a startup, a nonprofit, a small, medium business. We have to have those two minds. The tactics one that is operating and doing all the events and everything that is needed, but also look at it from a strategic point of view. And like just like you're saying, that after 3 years of hard work, you took one step back to look, to watch everything that is going on, and you said, okay, something has to be changed now. We have to see in a wider perspective, what are we going to do with this thing that grew up in here, okay? And this is very important when we build a business, a startup, whatever. Always have this dance between the here and now, the feet on the ground and what's going on, and the head in the sky of where do we want to navigate it? What is the next step? Who should be leading it? What is the new market that we're aiming to? All the time to have this dance. So you're 2017, you feel this strong responsibility and ownership of this thing to help it flourish in a much bigger way. And you understand that you don't want to leave it just something small, and that the power of it, of all the co-contributors within it, is so big. So what is the next step?
Okay, so the next step is that we started to gather. You mentioned people and like people, supportive people. So we started to gather around ourselves, like some mentors and some people who with a lot of experience in life and people who did things, and we brought them to the board of directors. And one of them who was mentoring us for the like last couple of months, said, guys, his name is Ray Milham. He's from the state, and he said, guys, we have there's a conference in Silicon Valley called Tech Wadi in January. You must come. And I remember telling Hassan, look, we have $5,000. Like we were lucky it was January because like flying tickets was
It's cheaper.
yeah, it was much cheaper. So I remember like we booked a one way to Silicon Valley with don't ask me, like it was $350 to Silicon Valley. Like, I don't know if you ever find a ticket like
No,
this.
no, it's 2017. It's winter time. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So with a budget of $5,000, we went like we spent 10 days in Silicon Valley. I remember like we slept in these Airbnb with like million people, six in the room. But it was an amazing experience.
Wow.
Looking back at it. And we met a lot of people. Like we met a lot of people in the valley, in Silicon Valley, in San Francisco. And from there, we moved to New York. Also, we met some people in New York, and also we had a last stop in Boston. We also did ski with this $5,000.
That's very important.
Yeah.
To have some fun also.
Yeah. Ski and going to the one of the Boston Celtics game, my favorite team.
Wow.
So we are top of the NBA today. Yeah. So this was an experience that really changed the whole thing, because coming back from this trip from this roadshow, meeting a lot of strategic people who became later on our donors and supporters, and we came back with a lot of momentum. So January 2018, I started to work at Hasoub in the beginning of the half-time job, and I started taking it from there. As I mentioned, we came back with a lot of momentum. A lot of organizations starting to notice us, started to appreciate the work that we did in the last 4 years, and really wanted to support it and to give it the support needed to take it to the next level. And here also, and here we started like to put the strategy. Okay, what's our strategy for the next 5 years? How we are going to do things? What the things that we are going to say no to it, because you need to focus, and it's so much responsibility right now. It's not the grassroots that we were like a couple of years. We dreamed, we think of something, we do it the day after.
Uh-huh.
So we started like to organize things, to organize the organization, and today, 2022.
Wait, before
Yeah.
2022. Wait. I want to emphasize three things. I'm listening to you with so much, curiosity and passion. And first thing, you and Hassan are, among others as well, but your contribution to the Arab tech society is so fundamental, is so big, and it's like, it's really like it's nice that someone is telling it to you, but it's also a big responsibility, and it's like knowing that you go with this thing on your shoulders, that you are one of the fathers and founders of the tech in the Arab society, and this is an amazing thing, together with a big responsibility that it brings within it. The second thing I wanted to emphasize is, in our conversation, you mentioned two events that were pivotal in your life journey. The first one was in Tao University, when you won in the competition there, and it like opened your eyes about what can happen and what do you want to do. And a few years later on, in this Silicon Valley event, and also there was this Wall Street Journal in the middle. Three events actually. And it's so beautiful, again, connecting the dots to see in retrospective. First of all, to see how many wins we have in life, and to be able to see them and to cherish them, because sometimes we move too fast and we don't give time and space to all the amazing things that happen. So I want to give you this small gift to do it, because I'm also not looking enough about those things. So that way I'm also telling it to myself.
Yeah,
But it's really
I
amazing.
agree.
And also beyond cherishing it, to see how in the higher level, one things again lead to another. And we can see those events as, oh, I didn't know English, I didn't have money, I didn't know what I'm going to do. This is the one side that we can look at this. And on the other side, oh, I see the opportunity, I see the getting out of my comfort zone, I see all the things and the learnings that can happen there, and I'm jumping on it. Okay. And this is like the two different perspectives that we can address to things in life, to stay in the place, in the comfort zone, because I have too many excuses and too many reasons why not to, while maybe less reasons why do the things, but these are amazing, and it takes you to amazing new places, just like Dr. Sue said. And the third thing I want to emphasize and to ask you also about it, you are a leading father and founder in the Arab society, and all those occasions that you came to, and whether it is in Tel Ventures, in Tel Aviv University, and whether it is later on in other occasions that you had a choice there. You could say, oh, we don't have anything in it in the Arab society. We don't know everything from tech and entrepreneurship, and continue in this way. And you have a choice to say, okay, we don't know those stuff, but how can we learn it? How can I do a meaningful thing now and bring it to my people, to my friends, to the people around me? And the power of choice is a very, very, very strong one, because it's not the easiest thing to do, obviously.
Yeah.
And you have to push so many walls, and you have to bring so many people to the table, and you have to convince so many supporters to make them listen to you, sorry. But this is what being a founder and entrepreneur is all about, right? Like to push the wall,
Yeah.
or to find the other way to climb on it, to go from another direction. And I just want to emphasize this, how strong is the power of our choice, because you truly choose in it. And then every decision that you had to make, or everything that you had to do, it was easier, because this is something that came really from the inside.
Exactly. Especially in the beginnings, and especially when you, like today, maybe it's maybe a bit easy to say it because, okay, yeah, today we have like the funding, we have the team. In the beginning, it was all volunteering, and doing this for 4 years with every day. It was like a day job. Okay, it was like I was working and doing it. So you have really, it really have to come from the inside, and also the big belief that, okay, I think we should be here. I was there. I saw where this world is going to. I saw the opportunities. My horizons are now much wider, and I believe that it's my responsibility right now for this who went out and saw things, to bring it back to my community.
Mm-hmm.
To those who don't, they have the potential, but they don't have the awareness.
Mm-hmm.
They have the potential, they don't have the skills. And I'm sure I'm sure, and I know we have a lot of these talents. They just need the Oren that came to me and said, Rabea, we get out of things. The Danny that said, Rabea, go to Wall Street Journal and present us there. Okay, I today is my responsibility to be this person for a lot of people in our community, to say, guys, you got it. You just need to believe in yourself, and you do it. And the only way to grow is to step out of your comfort zone. This and I learned it. I entered. I remember my first. Okay, there was another pivotal moment, and maybe we can add it. When I was volunteering at Tel Aviv University Entrepreneurship Center, Oren sent me to speak in one of the conferences here in Tel Aviv, and he said, "Rabea, you represent us there." And I went there, and it was horrible. It was like I couldn't speak. It was in English. My English was so broken. And I went out of this room, and everyone said, it was amazing. Well, they were all professors and ambassadors and blah, blah, blah. And they said, you were amazing. You were amazing. And I know inside I wasn't amazing, and it was a horrible, experience. And this experience, it was in the early beginnings, I could say to myself, okay, you are not related to here. Just go back to where you and or and I remember going home, just drawing the map and saying, okay, I don't want this to be my borders. I need to improve my English. And I didn't get any courses like, but I just started to read English every day.
Just a decision. You just chose that you want to be in a better place and more confident in the way that you communicate with others. You didn't want it to be a barrier for you.
Exactly.
And then you just made decisions. Again, it's the same choice to lead in the Arab society. And once we have a choice from a very internal place, then the decisions are easy.
Exactly.
So one thing is when you choose to lead the high tech in the Arab society, and then many decisions are easy. Another thing is that you don't want to feel second best. The decision is, okay, let's go learn English.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is the way it works in life.
Exactly. This is the choices that we need to do. And this is the stepping out of your comfort zone and learning something and doing mistakes. There's no improvement in something without doing mistakes. And don't afraid to do mistakes.
Yesterday, I just told you, I just gave a lecture in Paris, in the Paris Center for Peace and Innovation, for 50 founders from all Arabs and Jewish and many amazing women that were there, and it was so exciting. First of all, to be there. And it was another dream that I had, to check the box in. And one of the things that they liked the most, because at the end I asked each and every one, what did she take with her? And one of the things that they like the most is the rule of 15. You know it? You know that one? So it's Professor Carol Rubin from Stanford Graduate School of Business. She speaks about it in the leadership course that she gives to founders and to entrepreneurs. And she speaks there about we have the comfort zone, right? And we have the danger zone. And in the middle, we have the zone of learning. And we don't want to go from the comfort zone to the danger zone, because then we're lost and we don't know what to do. And it's dangerous for us. Where we do want to go is just 15% to the zone of learning. It means the fact, though, that all the time we need to do this small and a bit step, not something huge, just a little bit further, more than what we're used to, what we know. And think about it in percentage. That's the way it works, right? It's 15%. And then we do another 15% from this. So you get closer, or I don't even think it's getting closer, because there's not a goal. It's evolving all the time,
it's
right?
Moving,
it's moving all the time. Exactly. But and they reflect back that having this 15% as a rule of thumb, that this is what we need to do. We don't need to make no huge differences. Every time small difference will make a big impact. And I think that this is a great thing to take with us, and also helps us how to navigate it within the small changes we want to do in our day-to-day lives.
Small steps consistently.
Exactly. Consistently, small steps. So back, and I really liked it so much that you said, I had Oren and I had Danny, and I'm now the one that reached my hand to other people to help them do this leap. And first and foremost, it's a leap of faith before everything. So 2022, Hasub, what is going on today?
Yeah, so Hasub became, in the last couple of years, the leading organization in promoting tech and entrepreneurship in the Arab society. Today, we are a team of 6 people. And in the last couple of years, we decided that we are focusing in 3 main things. The first thing is to help building the infrastructure for entrepreneurship inside the Arab cities and villages, because it's important. When you have the infrastructure, when you have the place, when you have the physical place, as we are here today in Google for Startups, like doing this podcast meeting, we met downstairs in the cafe, so people are working. We need these physical places, because where people can come, can meet, can work together, can have the chance to go to meetups, learn, network, and also work from there. So this is one of the major things that we do today. And our flagship program or project there was Hasub Garage. We came across a very old building a couple of years ago in Arara. Where we started, it was like 200 meters away from Hassan's basement. and it was an abandoned building. It was a historical building, was built in 1945, I think, and it was a school before. And in the last 20 years, it was an abandoned building. Amazing, amazing, amazing one. And we said we approached the municipality. We said, guys, give us this building, and we are going to renovate it and make it an innovation center. And so we saw that the municipality is about to collaborate with us. We came here to Tel Aviv. We showed them what we can turn this place
What's
to.
the vision?
Yeah, what's the vision? And we just opened this play after 3 years of work. We just opened the Hasub Garage in September in a conference
Wow.
with 1,200 people.
Wow.
The American ambassador, the German ambassador, Yossi Matias, Professor Yossi Matias, people from VPs from Intel, CEOs, Oren Kaniel from AppsFlyer. Many people joined us in this celebration, and many, many, many other entrepreneurs from the Arab Society, from Jewish Society, from everywhere. So it was a celebration of the first innovation center in the Arab Society, and here we are trying to build a model of an innovation center inside an Arab city or village, and then how to replicate it to more places. So this is the first area of work today. The second one is we work on fulfillment of the potential of the Arab society in tech and entrepreneurship. So here we focus on the human capital. We work with students, with engineers, with entrepreneurs on how to fulfill their potential into in the ecosystem as an entrepreneurs and as an employees. So we say to ourselves, if you believe that you can really build a company and go all the way, raise money, build a product and hire the need people, go and do it. And if you see yourself a director in a big company, go and do it. Just don't put these glass ceilings to yourself, and all the time push the limits. All the time keep pushing it. So and we do this through a lot of programs, and through a lot of empowerment and soft skills and network. We believe in that people should expand their networks, get the soft skills they need, and all the time believe in themselves. And here, as I mentioned, we have mentoring programs and acceleration programs, a lot of different events. The third thing and the third arm of Hasub is the investment. Not that we do investments, but a couple of years ago, we understood that the same problem that Arab students had, that we mentioned this a lot today, the whole thing with the network. The whole thing with networking, Arab entrepreneur today he doesn't have the access, he or she, to come here to the angels in Tel Aviv and to knock their door. He is not in their circles, so it's much, much, much harder. So we said, okay, also here the change at some point should come from the inside. So what we did a program that educate our business people and senior high-tech executives and professionals to become angel investors. So far, we did 3 programs, 3 cohorts, and our alumni invested more than $1 million in pre-seed and seed money in the last year and a half. And so if I wrap it up all, today Hasub become an ecosystem builder, where we invest in infrastructure, in human capital, and we attract investment. And every year as well, in the last 5 years, we do the biggest annual conference where we bring all of this together. We talk about it. We talk about the future plans. And what happened in the last month? Ask me what happened.
And I'm asking you what happened in the last month. I'm still overwhelmed and listen. Okay, what happened?
So what happened the last month that
let's switch places.
Yeah.
Ask me anything.
So what happened the last month was that in the last half year, we worked in 2 big governmental tenders from the IIA, Israel Innovation Authority, and it was a tender that with it we can run an innovation center in the Arab society, which we already established. And the second one is to build an angel group in the Arab society, which we already planted the seeds. So we won these 2 tenders. it's a total budget of 18 million shekels for the next 5 years. And the moment that I saw that we win these two tenders with our amazing partners that we established two new like sub entities with amazing partners from the ecosystem. And the moment I saw the email that we got the two tenders, I remember the first 5,000 shekels I raised. And this was a hell of a marathon for like 8 years of work. And this is the whole thing that you start small, you believe in yourself, you start, and then people, when the train goes, when the train leave the station, people will start joining, and it's your responsibility as someone who leading it to stop in the stops and to get the people in, and really to keep going forward. But yeah, this was
Wow.
today.
Wow.
This was the last month, and now we have a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
How to spend this money, how to make more and more impact, and how to move the needle.
First of all, I'm very touched. You can see, because it's really it's full of impact. It's so impactful, and then again, you sit here so humble, so down to earth, doing everything with your two hands, and of course with your co-founders and the supporters. And it's so beautiful to see. You began it in 2014. Today we're 2022. It's 8 years, and there were many wins along the way, but you can see that a very strong proof to what you're doing, and also funding comes 8 years later. Okay, although there were many success stories prior to it, and the grit that we spoke about, and the resilience and the perseverance that we speak about all the time in startups. Look, guys, or listen, guys, this is how it looks like. It's a journey and it takes time. And Rabea can sit here and speak about the amazing things and the roller coaster that happened during this last 8 years. And it even actually began before, because as we spoke, all your childhood and the things that led you to it started before. But 8 years, and you see meaningful fruits and success that happens from the seeds that you plant 8 years ago, and that you didn't even know you're planting them in this stage. And this is very touching, very impactful, very moving the needle, all the things that we said, right?
Yeah.
And how to maximize the time in order to reach to these goals. And of course, it doesn't happen alone, and it doesn't happen overnight. And we need many things, hard work, and many good people along the way that will reach your hand and tell us, come, and we want to help you, and to move you like a check game from this place to another, to see how you're evolving all the time. And even if you don't know, how to do everything along the way, it's not so crucial, because you need to have this belief and to see, the bigger picture. Okay, so this thing we didn't succeed, we'll do the other thing. And it, it showcases really your leadership in everything that you're doing, and in the energy that you bring into the room. And I think it's beautiful that together with all those amazing things that happen, and your life journey, that as all of us is never easy, right? Each and every one of us has its own baggage that he brings or she brings into its doing. But how we choose to see it from another filter, again, the word choice, right?
Yeah.
From the pink filter, from the pink lemonade, like I like to call it, filter of how we can evolve from this. So I'm debating with myself, because there are some more stories that I want to hear from you, but on the other hand, it's like we're in a very amazing place now. It's like I'm saying, okay, maybe it's enough for today, for the audience to listen. So I do think we're gonna hit the pause button at this point, because I don't want to put us too much information and too many stories on our listeners. So Rabea, really, I think if I may conclude what we spoke about, is really your entrepreneurial mindset within our conversation, how it led you from one point to another, and the feeling of this strong responsibility that you have to your people, and how together we're supporting and creating a better economy and a better ecosystem and a better company and a better society. It all connects to each other. And I really want to thank you, for coming here and for sharing all this amazing journey.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for the opportunity. I really enjoyed this conversation.
People that wants to work with Hasub, to help, to support, to be part of it, how can they address you?
Yeah, they can reach out to me either via email, LinkedIn, phone. All the channels are available.
You're there.
Yeah, I'm there.
Very busy, but there.
No, always happy to meet and always happy to explore like collaborations and how we do things. Because I mean, what I just mentioned, the whole thing with the tenders, it happened with amazing partners. Like either in the side of the Angels, so we had Yahal Zilka, Guy Horowitz, Ron Moscovich, Forsan Hussein, Walid Afifi, Yoram Yacobi. They are all partners with us in this in the Hasub Angels, and in Hasub Labs we have Mass Challenge, Afifi Group, Apple Seeds, and Vintage Investment Partners as a partners in this new initiative. So having these collaborations, and that's why I always love to meet new people. Always love to explore and see where we connect, because this world is so small, and if we really join forces in these places to move the needle to the place we want to live in, I think we will live in a better world.
Definitely. Amen to that. Thank you so much for joining me today. To our lovely listeners, we're going to hit pause until the next episode. That's also something I say to the entrepreneurs in my clinic in between sessions. If you enjoyed listening, I would really appreciate it if you shared the podcast with people who you think would derive value from it, to all of Hasub community, please. Thanks to the amazing studios at Google Campus that allows us to record all this wonderful content in here. Feel free to visit my website at galiblochliran.com and leave your details there if you wish to be updated and learn more about the mental aspects of the entrepreneurial journey. Also, be sure to follow my podcast, The Human Founder, in any of your podcast apps. Let's hit pause. Till next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
The Human Founder Podcast by Gali Bloch-Liran.